Imagine waking up one morning, your bank account is frozen. Your investments are locked, ATMs stop working. The government says, temporary financial emergency. But here is the scary part. This has already happened. Not in movies, in real life. During the Cyprus Banking Crisis, people lost access to their money overnight. Banks closed. Withdrawals were limited. Savings disappeared. Speech bubble appears above citizens. People thought their money was safe. But it wasn't. Because during a financial crisis, governments can freeze banks, control money, and even seize assets. But here is the question nobody asks. What assets can't be easily taken? Assets that remain yours even if the system collapses. In this video, we'll explore 5 assets governments struggle to seize during a financial collapse. Some of them might surprise you. And the last one might be the most powerful asset of all. How governments seize assets. Let's start with a simple question. Why would governments seize assets at all? The answer is simple. When the financial system breaks, governments panic, and they try to stabilize the system. Sometimes that means controlling money. History shows this clearly. In 1933, the U.S. government banned private ownership of gold under Executive Order 6102. Citizens had to turn their gold over to the government. Imagine saving gold for years then being told, hand it over. Another example. During the Greek government debt crisis, banks limited withdrawals. People could only access small amounts of their own money. Your savings existed, but you couldn't touch them. This reveals something important. Money inside the system is not always fully yours. Banks can freeze it, governments can regulate it, and crises can lock it. Speech bubble appears above bank. But some assets live outside that system. And those are much harder to control. Let's explore them. Asset 1. Skills. This is the most underrated asset in the world. Skills. A skill cannot be seized. It cannot be frozen. And it cannot be confiscated. If you know how to fix machines, build houses, code software, or grow food, you have something governments cannot take. Because the asset lives in your brain. During financial collapses, people stop trusting money, but they still need services. Electricians, farmers, mechanics, programmers, skills become currency. During the Argentine economic crisis, barter networks exploded. People traded services directly, haircuts for food, repairs for clothing. Skills replaced money. That makes skills one of the most resilient assets in the world. Asset 2. Knowledge. Knowledge is different from skills. Skills are practical. Knowledge is strategic. Knowledge includes investing knowledge, financial literacy, business understanding, history, crisis survival strategies. During economic collapse, most people panic. But people with knowledge adapt faster. For example, understanding inflation helps people move assets early. Understanding debt cycles helps people prepare. Understanding markets helps people pivot. Knowledge travels with you. It cannot be taxed. It cannot be frozen. And it multiplies over time. The more you learn, the more resilient you become. Asset 3. Global mobility. Here's a powerful truth. Governments control territory. Not the entire planet. If someone has the ability to move, they have options. This could mean dual citizenship, residency permits, remote work capability, portable income. During financial crises, many people wish they could leave, but they cannot. Mobility is an invisible safety net. It gives you geographic flexibility, and flexibility is power. If one system collapses, you can move to another. That makes mobility an asset. A very powerful one. Asset 4. Physical precious metals. Gold and silver have survived thousands of years. Empires collapsed. Currencies disappeared, but precious metals remained valuable. Gold is not dependent on banks. It does not require electricity, and it exists outside the digital financial system. Even when governments restrict gold ownership, small amounts are extremely difficult to track. This is why gold has historically been called crisis money. During wars, inflations, and collapses, people still accepted gold, because it carries universal trust. That trust makes it resilient. Asset 5. Decentralized digital assets. This one is controversial, but important. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin introduce something new. Money without a central authority. Unlike bank accounts, crypto wallets can be self-custodied, which means you control the keys. And if you control the keys, you control the money. Governments can regulate exchanges. But seizing decentralized assets is much harder, especially if they are stored securely. That doesn't mean crypto is risk-free. Prices are volatile. Security matters, but decentralization introduces a new idea. Money outside traditional systems, and that changes the game. Act 3. Turning point. Here is the twist. Most people prepare for financial collapse by buying assets. But they ignore something deeper. Resilience. Because the strongest assets are not just financial, they are structural, skills, knowledge, mobility, these create independence. Precious metals and decentralized assets add another layer. But the foundation is always human capability. History shows this repeatedly, during crises. The people who adapt survive best. Not the people with the biggest bank accounts. Systems can collapse. But adaptable people rebuild. Financial systems look permanent. But history says otherwise. Currencies collapse. Banks fail. Governments change rules. But some assets remain difficult to seize. Skills, knowledge, mobility, precious metals, decentralized digital assets. These assets share one thing. They exist partly outside centralized control. And that makes them resilient. So here's a question. If the financial system froze tomorrow, which of these assets would you have? And which ones would you wish you had? Think about it. Because resilience is not built during crises. It's built before they happen. If you enjoyed this type of economic storytelling, subscribe for more videos that explain how money, power, and systems really work. And remember, the strongest asset you will ever own is the ability to adapt.